Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Ultimate Asian Seminar. Despite the ongoing pandemic, investors continue to drive values higher for key collectible assets in the past year. With the strong buying sentiment in Singapore's luxury residential market, we are seeing increased demand from high net worth individuals, both locally and overseas, especially in the CCR region. Tonight, gain new insights on selling ultra luxury properties from Project DD Alex Lim. Alex, over to you.
Okay, very good evening, everyone. I hope you guys had your dinner, or some of you maybe are having dinner right now. So anyway, just enjoy yourself. So I think very good evening again on behalf of the leadership team, myself, and of course we have Serene Ng and Kara Lok, who's also the ICs for Park Nova. So I think this time round, I think later on tonight, I'm going to share with you some insights about selling ultra luxury properties. Okay, but before I begin, I think I just want to share a little bit, on this luxury segment, because I think back in the days, like 15 years back, I think I didn't even have the luxury to even, to hear what is a ultra luxury properties, or even, District 9. So I just felt, all these kind of webinars and trainings are very, very important, and actually gives you a little bit of highlights on what is happening in the luxury market. So I really think, I just want to do my best to, share with you guys, give you a bit more insights on this, luxury segment of real estate. Okay, so before I begin, I just want to warm up again with all of you. So if you think we are ready to begin, can you just click the raise hand button? Yeah, so that I know you guys are ready. Click the raise hand button, and then I'll basically, be ready to go all out to share whatever I can. Do you have a raise hand button or in the webinar? Have not? Let me see. Okay, I'm not sure whether you have the raise hand button or not. Okay, so thank you so much. So I think I'm going to begin my session. So this very evening, I'm going to share 5 insights to selling luxury properties in Singapore. Okay, so I'm going straight right up to the first insight, which I'm going to share with you. Okay, why actually people buying into luxury properties today, right? There's so many segments of the market. So luxury to me, to us, is actually more into the 9, 10, 11. And of course, ultra luxury, okay, of course, we don't have a dictionary term to it, but we believe it's probably in the range of 5 million and above. Okay, so a lot of ultra luxury properties are changing hands in the market today. So why are they buying into Singapore? They're not just buying into the property, but actually buying into the elements of what Singapore has. So for example, the first insight I want to share with you is this thing called political stability. Okay, so yes, in business, sometimes, we cannot talk too much about politics, but really to the investors, why are they buying into Singapore? It's also because of our stability. So this is just a chart, it may be very small to you, but not to worry. All these slides will be sent out to you as well. But just to show you, this is actually how Singapore's rank, under the Global FinTech Ecosystem Center. You can see Singapore is ranked number 1, right? Number 1 based on fintech, the ease of doing business, financial hub. So you can see our political, which is actually the dark blue. Okay, this is the kind of rank that you can see. Compared to the rest of the world, I think we are pretty stable. And of course, including our economy stability, okay, our social stability, and of course, technological structure. So all this adds up, to the score. So you can see where Singapore ranks, just a tiny little red dot. But in Singapore, in the world, I think we're all well known for our stability. And also the ease of doing business. Okay, the ease of doing business, you can see, probably rank number 2, right? The ease of doing business. Okay, again, in Southeast Asia, you can see, we are, ease of doing business over Hong Kong, Korea, Malaysia, China, Thailand. Okay, so a lot of legal structures are what we call business stability. So we require this kind of laws behind us. So without all this kind of stability, okay, if there's always change in leadership, there's always change in laws, there's always change in policies, this will actually scare away a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, from even coming into Singapore, right? So when they come into Singapore, they will set up their structures, and then of course the bosses will be in, right? So that's where we get our ultra luxury deals. So without all this, let me give you some examples. Okay, you can see in different countries, for example, cities like Hong Kong, right? We all know that this kind of crisis, occurs, right? Because there's change of leadership, culture differences, policy laws have changed, and that's why, economy is a bit shaky in the different countries. Okay, for example, in Hong Kong, right, they're saying that the presidency actually signed a national security, act, what's called the Hong Kong National Security Law, okay, on the 30th of June. So this actually happened last year. So you guys, I believe you all forgot already, right? All these things are actually happening, okay, of course, before COVID, and maybe COVID helped them also to keep everybody at home. If not, everybody on the streets. So with all these kind of things, how does it affect the market? Okay, you can see, okay, all this unrest, or what we call, all the protests, basically strokes fear and actually what causes capital to flow out of the country. Okay, so this is what is happening because of political instability. Okay, you can see, people are moving funds overseas, like Singapore, to London, to Switzerland. Okay, when things are not stable in their country, and that's where you also can see a lot of Chinese, right, buying up properties in Singapore. Okay, Marina One, last year, they bought like 6 units one shot, right? So wealthy Chinese actually stepping up luxury homes to actually guard their wealth. Okay, guard their wealth against inflation in their countries. Okay, and also, the weakening of the yuan in China. Okay, in Singapore, okay, that's why we are selling a lot of properties. Even they are buying without coming to Singapore through virtual tours and photos. So I mean, this time round, circuit breaker, we hope there isn't, but I think we should all prepare all our digital tools, regardless of market segments. Okay, these people are all overseas. Be always what we call Zoom ready. Be Zoom ready towards your client in Indonesia, in China, in Malaysia. Okay, so be always Zoom ready. Okay, so Singapore is always regarded as a safe haven. You always hear this word, safe haven. Because of a stable and well-regulated market. Okay, again, why we always like to compare Hong Kong is because of its size. So we're always trying to take in relation, because Hong Kong is also a financial hub. So you can see, Hong Kong's rich, okay, are preparing for the worst case scenario amidst economic and political crisis. Yeah, of course, they have monies there, so they're trying to spread and diversify some of the monies out of the countries. Okay, so there's also interviews with Hong Kong bankers, right? So their worry, okay, is that because of these laws, again, the capital flight, capital will actually move out of their countries, right? So when they did some interviews, you can see, in some cases, the clients have a bit of thinking whether will things get better and things like that. But I think now, they're stepping on the gas to reduce their wealth concentration risk in their country. Okay, so they're moving funds everywhere already. Okay, so as mentioned in their own code, in many cases last year we saw our clients putting in place Plan B. So they actually activated Plan B already, and didn't quite move assets out of Hong Kong. Okay, and then of course the banker has already received inquiries to activate that plan now. So they activated a lot of plan, moving monies, away from Hong Kong and into other countries. Okay, so even you see they don't want to be named, don't want to be declined. So this is what is happening really on the ground. Okay, so that's why whether which party you support, I think in business for us, whichever can give us stability, is really what we want, right? Especially when you're doing business as a real estate salesperson, this is what political stability is. Okay, so we don't want things to change overnight. Okay, so good or bad is for you to decide, but in the eyes of the rich, the wealthy overseas, they really see Singapore as very stable, right? From the 1950s all the way up to now. So I think we're very, very stable. Okay, so this is one of the important insights. Why are people actually investing in Singapore? Okay, not just about property, but putting money in Singapore. Second important part is that we have actually what we call favorable tax rates. Okay, we have favorable tax rates. So what kind of tax rates are favorable in Singapore? So you can see, I actually tabulated a chart out in the different countries, the important cities. So actually Singapore, in terms of its corporate rate, okay, it has dropped from 26% in the 1990s all the way to today, 17% is our corporate tax. Okay, so with this low corporate tax, it actually entices a lot of business owners into Singapore to set up business, right? Because our tax rate is relatively low, or probably much lower compared to the rest of the world. So you can see example, UK is like 19%, Thailand 20%, Malaysia is 24%, in China is 25%. Okay, Japan is like near 30%, Australia is also 30%, and of course in France is 32%. So these are its corporate tax rates. So Singapore at 17%, I can say we are very, very competitive. Hong Kong is at 16.5%, just a 0.5% lower. So this again, so it actually attracts Singapore's competitiveness, for what good shares of foreign investments. Okay, so this is why people are willing to come to Singapore. We have Tencent, we have Alibaba coming to Singapore to set up their companies. Okay, this is why they're coming to Singapore. And of course, these are just corporate tax, and there's also personal income tax. This is something maybe a lot of us won't know, or maybe we didn't explore because we only look at how much tax we pay, right? We didn't look at how much tax others are paying. So this is just a chart to show you what is the average global personal tax people are paying overseas. Of course, on the global stage is 30% on average, but if you look at Europe, on average it's also around 30%. So it's around 31% in Europe. Asia on average is 28%. Okay, America 32% income tax, which means if you make $1,000, you are being taxed you're being taxed $320 based on $1,000. Okay, in Africa, of course, 32. So make a guess. What is the Singapore's income tax rate? You can put in the chat. If you are right, good. Again, no prize for you, but at least your why are people coming here? Is to make money, in Singapore. Okay, so personal income tax in Singapore, okay, on its upper tier is 22%. I know some of you very good. You're 0-1. Zero are those earning below 20,000. Okay, so if not, usually we're talking about high net worth. Okay, so if they're coming here making money in Singapore, their tax rate is at 22%. Okay, so you can look at the different charts. Okay, so at Taiwan is 20%, Malaysia 28%, US 37%, okay, Indonesia 30%, South Korea 40%, in China 45%, okay, in Canada it's like 54%. So if you look at Singapore at 22%, I know it's painful, but I see if you look at the global stage again, I think we are very, very, very competitive. Okay, so this is why this attracts again, high net worth individuals into our country. So this is the kind of the second tax we're talking about. So we're talking about corporate, we're talking about personal, and there's also this thing called the inheritance tax. Okay, so in Singapore, we actually have zero inheritance or estate tax, which means if someone passes on, the monies can go to the next generation without being taxed. Okay, so estate duty has been abolished, okay, since when? 15 February 2008. Okay, so around 13 years back, it has already been abolished already. So Singapore has zero inheritance tax. You can see why are people donating money? You think they have so much money and donate? Why? It's actually also because you must understand in their country, if they were to pass on, okay, they have to pay an estate tax of 40% in US, Canada 50, UK 40, France 45, Japan 55. So what for you want to keep so much money when you have so much estate tax at stake? So South Korea is also one of the highest, together with Japan, 50% estate tax. Okay, in Singapore, zero. Okay, so this is again a different tiers of taxation to attract. So I'm going to show you one news, recent news about this Samsung, the heirs of Samsung. So basically they have to pay a tax rate of $6 billion, because someone passed on, right? So because of a big inheritance, okay, they have no choice but to pay a 50%. Okay, you can see here is 50% tax. Okay, and that probably translates to how much is that? Gonna be like $6 billion. Okay, so again, this is not favorable in the country, right? So this is what is really happening. So that's why people are coming to Singapore rather than make leave some legacies in Singapore, buying properties, doing business. This is the one of the reasons as well. Okay, so the third thing I want to share is this thing called ultra high net worth family officers. Okay, so for those who are aware what is family officers, good. But for those who don't, just bear with me and I'm going to explain a little bit. What are family officers? What we call FOs. Okay, so in Singapore, okay, let's show it next slide better. Okay, so ultra high net worths, are deemed to have individuals deemed to have like 30 million USD in investable assets. Okay, so $30 million. And in Singapore, okay, we have what we call the single family officers that actually manages assets of approximately 130 million Sing dollars, okay, or 100 US dollars. So every family office, okay, ultra rich is coming to Singapore to set up family office to do what? Okay, they are here to help manage the entire family's fortunes and money. It's like a personal assistant or a personal team, okay, for the family. So whether it's a brother, sister, mother, father, everybody, they will be using this, what we call a family office, to manage their assets. Okay, so to help them invest, estate management, to govern, the family, philanthropy, admin, legal advisories, business consultants, lifestyle and concierge and services. So if you know of people working in family offices, you can be probably part of these few segments. The lifestyle concierge or business consultancy, maybe they can actually buy properties through you, right? Refer you. So family offices is not just one person, it's a team, okay, of people, helping this kind of high net worth individuals, the families, to administer, preserve, growth, for intergeneration transfer, and things like that. So this is a very, in Singapore, we are getting a lot of people coming to Singapore to set this up. Okay, what are the main reasons for this? Okay, because of course we have a very strong regulatory framework. Our legal rights are very good. Okay, established financial services and well-developed infrastructure. Okay, we also have a stable and pro-business government policy, very high transparency in Singapore. Okay, we also have very good, they have existing private banking relationships in Singapore. Okay, we also have the availability of skilled labor force. We also need skilled labor force and talents to manage all these multi-million dollar family funds. Okay, so in Singapore we have it. And of course, we have teams that can establish and operate in Singapore. Okay, so this is the reason why the trend of people coming to Singapore is getting more and more. Okay, so you can see, because of all this, now Singapore is like ranked one of the top picks for luxury homes already. Okay, as you can see, this word called safe haven. Buying things in Singapore is very safe. Okay, where they can buy any parts of Singapore over a few years. They can either preserve their wealth or they continue to grow their wealth. Okay, so of course, buyers from India, Japan, Malaysia, rated Singapore as one of the top 5 locations for investments. Okay, you also can see this chart. There's also a survey done. All these are all Asia surveys. Singapore again, top ranked number 1, usually ranked number 1, number 2, in Asia and in the world, right? Okay, over Tokyo, Sydney, Melbourne, China, Bangkok, Taipei. So Singapore is usually ranked number 1 because of a lot of reasons, which I mentioned. Whether is it the ease of doing business, whether is it the legal rights, whether is it safety for kids, which I didn't put in the slide, but all this very important, right? Safety for kids, education, all these combined. Okay, it's giving a high net worth people confidence in Singapore. So basically, when you sell ultra high net worth stuff, you're not selling the product. The product is just a byproduct. You're actually selling Singapore. Okay, so you got to sell Singapore before you even sell the product. This is why they're coming into. Okay, and again, because of pandemic, COVID, okay, it actually amplifies the attractiveness of Singapore, right? So Singapore now today, is in a global spotlight. Okay, the world is looking at how Singapore is managing, this whole pandemic, right? So I think you can see a lot of parts of the world, their medical systems are not that good, right? Why do they have such high death rates? Either because they don't have good access, or is it they don't have good transport, or is it they don't have good governance, or is it poor healthcare? All these can relate, or maybe some of the reasons, right? So we don't know, or is it because Singapore is small and easy to manage? But end of the day, all this amplifies again, the Singapore's attractiveness. And this maybe let me rewind also. During the pandemic, after the phase 2 and all that, we had people flying private jets into Singapore, just to get medical treatments. Okay, so this is how much they value our Singapore, medical system. Okay, so this is again, by right, Singapore is like an unknown place to many people. But now, because of all this, this pandemic, it actually amplifies the attractiveness of Singapore. Okay, so this is actually an article, by Tharman. He said about 200 single officers, are being managed in Singapore. Okay, so this he mentioned this in I think in October last year, 200 officers. Then in April this year, I just pull out before before our minister changed his roles. He mentioned now there are 400 ultra rich families operating their families, offices out of Singapore. So we have again increased a lot of family officers. And take note, each family officers on average, they're managing around like $100 million. And every year, based on the survey, every family office is spending at least $1 million in Singapore. Okay, what are they spending on? It can be anything. It can be stocks and shares. It can be foods and services, products, property, anything. But every office can be spending on average $1 million, in Singapore. So this is how much they are doing it. Okay, so you can see, so boost in family offices, all this wealth management will actually spur Singapore's recovery. So we also need this kind of monies to actually spruce up our economy, okay? Not just local demand, because Singapore is very small dot. So we also need this kind of monies to spruce up Singapore's economy. And of course, there will be overflow of funds that would, buy up different asset classes, right? So like this article I pull out is they talk about, prop up demand for shop houses. Basically, it's prop up demand for all the CCR products, okay? Because these people, they only want to buy the luxury core central regions, central locations, okay? They probably will not go so much of, into the suburbs unless they have, kids studying around there. If not, usually to preserve their wealth, they only buy, in town, most likely district 9, 10, in 11, sometimes, like commercial or even shop houses. So all these monies will start to flow, okay? So remember, ultra high net worth, they're coming to Singapore to set up family offices. So of course, we have friends and families, know of friends working around. Yes, we can get good referrals from there. Okay. My next insight, is what we call low holding costs. Okay. When you buy a property, we always think about, how much down payment you must pay, how much ABSD you must pay, how much legal fees you must pay. But sometimes we overlook, why are they really buying Singapore and why are they willing to pay? It's also because of what I call a low holding cost, because they want to hold for 5, 10 years, 20 years. They are not here, not all are here to trade properties. They are here to buy a property and wait for 10 years. They'll ask very specific questions like, what's the cost of holding? Okay. So even before I go into that, just to show you some charts that I pull out again. Okay. So just for a scenario sake, let's say for a $2 million property, okay, you can look at Singapore's chart. This dark blue line represents the cost of buying. So you can see Singapore cost of buying, yes, you will say a bit high because we need ABSD. We're talking about foreigners, we need ABSDs. Even for PRs, you also need your ABSD, right? So the cost of purchase is not exactly low, okay, but you can see the light blue. The light blue part, the light blue part is the cost of holding in 5 years. That means our property tax, our agent fees, and things like that, right? So the cost of holding your property, what we call management fees, and then of course the cost of selling will be the medium blue, that will be like your commissions, your legal fees again. So you can see the light blue portion in Singapore compared to the rest of the world. Holding a property in Singapore is worth it. For example, if you look at Vancouver, if you hold properties, you're going to pay quite a lot of tax of holding. But it will eat into your yield, right? It will eat into your capital appreciation. So you can see why people like to buy Singapore and Hong Kong, because our holding costs, a cost of holding is relatively low. If you buy Tokyo, you can see you probably have very high management fees and high property taxations. Okay, so I'm talking about the light blue. I can see all the other countries holding cost is very high. Like New York, you can buy easily, but your holding cost is very high. Okay, London holding cost not bad. Okay, and the rest of the world. Okay, so this is why again people are actually looking to buy Singapore. Okay, and you compare, we are still slightly cheaper than who? Hong Kong. Okay, so ABSD, yes, we have to pay 20%, but other countries also have to pay. It's not zero. So if you compare to Hong Kong, they're paying 30%. So probably we are like 10% cheaper, right? So every 10% out of $10 million is like $1 million savings already. Okay, so even if they compare to UK, maybe 12%, 10%, 12%, we are 8% higher, right? But again, they are also paying tax. So in Singapore, yes, we need to pay tax. If not, all our prices will go crazy already, because everyone in Singapore everyone in the world is looking at Singapore. So we have no choice. The government has to in place ABSD. If not, our price will just boom up like 50%, right? So we have to stabilize the market. This is attracting people to buy Singapore. We don't want prices to go crazy, okay? And also, okay, we have very low mortgage rates, pardon me, we have very low mortgage rates. So whenever there's a crisis, US will cut their Fed rates, their interest rate, which will also impact Singapore, right? So when they cut their Fed rates, like last year, they cut to practically zero. So how would it relate? Because our Singapore interest will actually peg to US Fed rates. So from there, you can see our Singapore interest on average today, okay, is only like 1.1%, guys. 1.1%. And if your clients ask you, should you take a loan or not? I know they have a lot of money, right? They have hundreds of millions, but by right, should they take a loan? If they have hundreds of millions, maybe they don't need it. But if they really want to leverage, they can take a loan, right? Because holding cost is only 1.1%. Okay, you can see other countries is like nearly double, right? What is it? Japan, Taiwan is 2%. Our friendly neighbor, 3.5% on average. I believe you guys have some Malaysian properties around 3.5, which is considered low. I think during the days like 2-3 years back, it's already like 5%, right? So Australia, I think that time is also, when I last checked, that time was also like 4.5%, but now it's 3.3. So you can see the interest rate is very, very high compared to Singapore. So our holding cost is relatively low. Again, it's plunged. This to show you, okay, from last year to now, it's very, very low. So these are the current interest rate you can get, maybe 1.3, 1.2. If you get the BUCs, probably it's like 1.1. Okay, CD Gold again lower. So how does this relate to cost savings? Okay, so before even the pandemic, interest rates were probably like 2.5%, I believe. So today, maybe I give an average of 1.3%. So just based on a $2 million property, okay, just based on a $2 million property, okay, if your interest rate is 2.5%, your monthly installment is $5,009. Okay, but if your interest rate is 1.3%, your interest rate is, your installment is only $5,000. It's a $900 difference. Okay, so of course, in terms of outlay, in 5 years, you have a savings of $53,000 in 5 years. So just interest rates difference. Okay, so that's why people are buying into Singapore because of low interest rates. Okay, so because of low holding costs, the cost of holding is low, you have a low property tax, you have low interest rates. The whole strategy is to just buy and wait. Because why? You can see a lot of things happen in the world. But in terms of Singapore, whether is it SARS, whether is it a global financial crisis, whether is it H1N1, maybe you guys have forgotten. All these things, yes, it does cause temporary dips, but you can see how much it accelerated after. Okay, and in 2013, of course, they have a lot of cooling measures. It tapered a bit, but now this time around, even after COVID, if you bought something during COVID, you're probably sitting on like 8.7% profit. So the whole idea, the whole property game is just to buy and hold, because Singapore's holding cost is very low. Okay, so this is some of the things of how people are and why people are buying. So these are just some strategies I'm sharing with you. And of course, most importantly, we're talking about the fifth insight, the future of luxury CCR properties, okay, the core central region. Now, in the CCR environment, you can see during the pandemic, wealthy people basically are immune to all this kind of pandemic, immune to cooling measures. They're immune to anything because they have the money, right? So these people, because of pandemics, they will start to buy up different properties. That's why you see the news. There are a lot of things, right? So ultra rich Asians and Chinese are eyeing again luxury homes amidst the corona pandemic. Okay, so you can see higher demand is resilient. Okay, buyers with financial capabilities will actually pick up the purchase. CCR properties are always low in supply. So these are reasons why people are buying CCR. So instead of thinking, okay, guys, okay, sometimes people say, hey, Alex, why are property prices rising, despite the pandemic? So I always tell them it's not that it's rising despite the pandemic. It is rising because of the pandemic. Okay, you guys must relate this thing. So I say again, property prices are not, increasing despite. Okay, it is increasing because of the pandemic. All these things have made Singapore, so attractive. Okay, without the pandemic, maybe we are not so attractive. Okay, so you must understand. So all these things are here, to shine us. So you can see luxury homes rose 10-fold in March. Guys, 10-fold means 10 times. Okay, most of the buyers are Singaporeans, but also foreigners picking up trophy homes, trophy assets. To them, buying Singapore is like their pride. It's like being able to buy a ticket, to hold a trophy. So people always ask me, so Alex, ABSD, are foreigners willing to pay? I say yes. Why are they willing to pay ABSD? Because ABSD is the ticket. Okay, I say again, ABSD is the ticket for you to create wealth, okay, in Singapore. So without this ticket, you cannot take the train, right? So if you want to take the train, you want to create wealth, you want to preserve your income, you have to pay for this ticket. And this ticket is 20%, right? For foreigners. Okay. So again, okay, you can see 10 times, okay. Monthly sales, okay, in March was 556 luxury homes being sold, okay, compared to 58 being sold same time last year. So you can see there's a 10 times of increase, okay? And of course, there are 16 homes transacted more than $5 million and two over $10 million. So people are actually buying into the luxury segment. Okay, and for the high-end home sales, okay, you can see this is on this 8-year highs, guys. 8-year, remember this date. Now it's 2021. Okay, so 8 years ago, can you all recall what date was that? So now it's 2021. So 8 years ago, okay, what date was that? That was in 2013. Guys, remember this date because later we'll show you some charts. So again, we're on our 8-year high. Okay, 16 sales were transacted between 15 to around 14 million. Okay, I think this is crazy. So let's take a look at the next slide again. So you can see 8 years ago, because we talk about 8 years, 2013. Okay, you can see there are a lot of transactions transacting 4,000 per square foot, 3,005, 4,007 per square foot in Singapore. For those who have joined us, you probably have seen this before. For those who haven't, just to let you know, 4,000, 5,000 on the highest in Singapore, 6,000 plus per square foot we have seen it before, okay? That was in 2013. And you all know what happened in 2013? This date, every real estate salesperson must know. 2013, okay? What are the things that happened in 2013? Okay, there was a slew of cooling measures, right? All the cooling measures hit in 2013. And because of that, a lot of people pull handbrake. That's why you can see, since 2013, nothing much happened. There isn't any units, like only 1 or 2 or 000 for the past like 5-6 years that cross 3,005 per square foot. That means people are not buying Singapore because they are thinking this ABSD, is it very, is it a very expensive ticket? Will the property market crash? What will happen to the property market? So during 2013 until 2018, it was a time for them to absorb, to think, where will our Singapore property price hit? Okay. And of course, some start to realize nothing is going to happen right now. Nothing has happened then, right? So our prices are relatively stable. If not, it has grown a little bit, right? So from all these years, it has grown. So from there, 2018, with money in the pocket, seriously, we cannot put the money in the pocket for too long. You have 100 million, you have 200 million in the pocket. Trust me, you need to buy something. Okay, you just need to buy something. So from there, people start to understand, property market won't go down. They start to buy stuff already, right? 4,000 PSF. 10 units were transacted at more than 3,008 per square foot, 4,005 per square foot, 4,009 per square foot. And there are 25 units being transacted more than 3,005 per square foot. So again, why is this wave coming? I don't have the rest of the chart because we don't have the stats, So, but why is these things coming? Because they understand, okay, the prices of Singapore is here to stay. Okay, it only can get higher. Okay, it cannot go any lower. You can see this is the proof that people are not buying, and this is the proof why people are buying again. Okay, and you can see, I like to use the 2013. Okay, this box that I draw is starting from 2013 all the way to today. 2021. Okay, and you can see our CCR basically has underperformed. Okay, to me it's underperformed, right? Because this is the chart, underperformed on average 8%. Okay, that's why I can say, we do have a lot and a huge potential upside today. Okay, because a lot of people want to buy cheap stuff, right? Want to buy value, because you can see RCR and OCR has made quite a fair bit really since 2013. But CCR, I think it's still a little bit there. Okay, of course, more room to grow. So this is a chart that I really like to share with my buyers, that look, we are not overpaying. We can definitely catch up with RCR and OCR, right? So this is something that probably can show your clients. Okay, so I want to show you also, proof that people are really buying expensive stuff. For over the past 2 years, what are people buying? So over the past 2 years, you can see people are buying up things like unit the mark at Patterson, okay, at Patterson Hill, 29.5 million, crossing the 4,600 per square foot mark. Okay, it has crossed 4,600 per square foot. This is 4,006. So this is a condominium unit. And of course, important news, GCB record breaking, crossed 4,005 per square foot. Guys, for those who are familiar with the GCB market, okay, I think just 2-3 years back, average per square foot was like 1,000, 3,000, 5,007, which is like crazy already, 1,005, 1,007 is like expensive. So in the year 2019, okay, Wing Tai sold its GCB at record price at 2007, which actually shook the market. We were all stunned, and why would someone buy 2007 per square foot? And not only that, this year, okay, in March, okay, someone bought a GCB at 4,005 per square foot. I nearly fell off my chair already, okay, because people are usually prices are like 1,007, 2,000. Okay, now what has this cost? This has caused the entire market, okay, to change its game. Okay, the rules have changed, the game has been changed. For those who are selling, landed properties, bungalows, and GCBs, you guys probably have faced this problem that today the sellers suddenly all don't want to sell. They all don't want to sell because they're thinking, yeah, initially I wanted 2,000 per square foot, but people are buying 4,000 per square foot. Why do I need to sell to locals? I might as well sell to what we call our new citizens. They are willing to pay, 2,007, 3,005, or even 4,000 per square foot. So they are pulling out from the market, and you will see this, because of this, what I call game changer. 4,005 is breaking the entire game changer. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is also going to go into the CCR luxury condominiums. This is the landed, but it's also going to the condominiums. Let's look at it. Why? Okay. This year again, we're talking about these 2 years. So Orchard by the Park, 3 Orchard by the Park closed its penthouse, crossing 4,800 per square foot. Okay, 4,800 for a penthouse. Okay, just let you guys know, last time when we do real estate, the penthouse per square foot is usually lower or half the price lower. Okay, so that was many years back. That was like 5-6 years back when I was selling penthouses. If you have a penthouse selling for, if you have a unit selling for 2,000 per square foot, the penthouse will be maybe 1,002 per square foot. I believe you guys are experienced, you would know. But then after that, when I start to enter the ultra luxury market, when I have clients coming to Singapore, when I drive my clients around, we talk about penthouses, then they always ask me, they say, hey Alex, how come your Singapore penthouses are so cheap? They say, wow, cheap man. Because I use my logical mind. I say, cheap man, no what? The price is expensive. That's why the size is bigger. That's why the per square foot got to be lower. If not, we cannot sell. So that's my logical mind, because per square foot has to be low and kept affordable. Then my clients told me, Alex, in my country, all these penthouses are not cheaper. Their per square foot is probably double in their country. I was like, is it? I don't know. In Singapore, I only know it's cheaper. Your country good, whichever country you come from. But that, when I look back, it actually triggered me to think back. Actually, all this, we're actually learning a lot from our clients. And you can see today, this is what is happening today. Our Singapore core central luxury penthouses, their per square foot is selling much, much higher than average units. Okay, so this is something that you all got to know. Everybody is coming in to aim for the trophy. Okay, the top of the class. Okay, so it crosses 4,008. Okay, you can see also people buying up, nothing to buy already. 1层楼, 2层楼, 1 level, 2 level, 3 level is too little for them. They want the 20 levels, right? Wow, this one like Eden, you can see they actually sold the whole entire block at 300 million. Okay, they sold the whole entire block on average 4,008 per square foot. Some may think crazy, I also whenever we hear this news, we always think it's crazy. But sometimes when I put myself in their shoe, I try to think what they're thinking. Because guys, to me, why do we need to buy this? Number one, it's not easy to get land in District 9 and 10, right? You can't basically just buy a land. Who is selling, right? You don't get a seller that's selling a plot of land that can build a high rise. Even if you want to go into an en bloc process, okay, if you want to go to an en bloc process, don't forget, okay, you still must gather 80% of people to agree to sell. So there's still a lot of a process to be done. So in their point of view is that I come here, there is something that is already available. I don't have to negotiate, to get them to sell. I just buy it off the market, at whatever price they want, because these people, I'm not sure what they're going to do with it. They can tear it down, they can rebuild, they can stay for their own stay. We have no idea, right? So they have their own plans. Okay, so this is why people are willing to buy, especially prime properties. Okay, so this is available for sale then. So the one shot whole unit. Okay, it's the whole development. It's not like half is sold to public, half sold to them. No, they only want to buy entire blocks. Okay, they want to have full ownership of the freehold land. Okay, so this is what is happening, crossing the 4,008 per square foot. Then again, crossing 4,009 per square foot over the past 2 years, we have our penthouse at Boulevard 88, 4,936 per square foot. Okay, you can see here, Warwick, okay, penthouses, other than Dyson, okay, this is another penthouse being sold, the fourth Warwick penthouse, 4,987 per square foot, just last year only. Okay, so also breaking the 4,009 mark and breaking the 5,000 mark. Wow, it's like, like your achievers like that, right? Breaking the $5,000 mark. It's again Boulevard 88 with the largest penthouse sold, 5,125 per square foot over the past 2 years. Okay, so this is what is happening in the luxury market. So remember, we're talking about ultra luxury. So who are these buyers? Okay, so of course, you're looking at the average buyers. Okay, what are they buying? So usually we have our Chinese, our Indonesians, and Taiwanese. And of course, we have a fair share of Singaporeans also buying Orchard by the Park. So not just foreigners, PRs, Singaporeans are also buying. This is 3 Orchard by the Park. Okay, Boulevard 88. Okay, Singaporeans also buying. So you can see 55% Singaporeans, and the other 45% is probably our PRs and non-citizens. Okay, Indonesians, Chinese, they're also buying. This is Boulevard 88. Okay, Novel 18, Singaporeans also buying. A very big portion, it's Chinese buying. We have Americans, again, Indonesians. Okay, the Nassim. Okay, the Nassim, Singaporeans also buying. I think a bigger bulk came from the Taiwanese market. Okay, some from America. These are quite fairly even now. America, Canadian, Chinese, the Indians, Indonesians. Okay, so they bought the Nassim. And of course, our record price, this one is still held by the mark. It was 10 years ago. Okay, I don't think it can hold longer already. Okay, there's going to be more and more luxuries that's going to come out into the market. So today, the highest ever sold is actually the mark, 6,850 per square foot. That was 10 years ago. So until today, the record hasn't been broken, but it's going to be broken very, very soon. Okay, it's going to be broken very soon. So all these per square foot, I would think, wow, Alex, we are talking about so high. Is it crazy now? So let's see how crazy it is as compared to who, as compared to what, right? So when we look at it, yes, it may be high, but when we put ourselves in their shoes and in context, if you want to buy luxury properties in different parts of the world, let's take Hong Kong, for example. Recently, okay, in February this year, okay, there is a mid-level, mid-level that is being sold at 23,370 per square foot. This is the new Asia record. Okay, last year when I was talking about Hong Kong, it was only 22,000 per square foot. This year it has crossed a new record, 23,000 per square foot. This is 23,000. So if you compare to ours, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, I give you 6,000. To them is also what we call affordable in their point of view. Okay, so this is why they look at Singapore as like, it's not, not there yet, but, affordable, ABSD is not that critical, and we have good governance, and ours is freehold. Okay, guys, ours is freehold. In their country, it's not freehold. Okay, some are 70 years, some are 99 years. Okay, but in Singapore, ours is freehold. Okay, for those who are buying luxury projects. Okay, so again, this puts me into the right frame where are we today? Okay, so that's why, you know, we're very proud to present to you this project called Park Nova. Wow, this one must 进广告. No, so this is not an avatar, this is real. Okay, tomorrow is our booking ready. Okay, we had our preview since 1st of May. So Park Nova, okay, is basically a what we call an iconic project in the heart of Orchard. Okay, so we are on Tomlinson Road. So for those who are familiar, later I'm going to show you the map. So this project, as you can see, okay, it's a very beautiful vertical garden. The developer is actually Suntak. Okay, they are a Macau, a Hong Kong developer. Okay, so this is from the families of Stanley Ho. So the daughter now is handling Pansy Ho. So Park Nova meaning park because we are in the midst of a park with a lot of greens, and Nova means the brightest star. So this will be the next brightest star in Singapore and also in Orchard Road itself. Okay, so Shuntak Holding, they are players in property, transportation, hospitality business. They're the largest developer in Macau. Okay, they have a lot of Nova series in China and Hong Kong as well. Okay, so they are basically a very established and big developer. Okay, so this is where Park Nova is. Let me just change my, let me just change my pointer a bit so you can see. So Park Nova, okay, this is Park Nova. This is along Tomlinson and Orchard Boulevard. Okay, so for those who are familiar, Boulevard 88 is down here. Okay, Four Seasons is down here, and Orchard Ion is down here. Okay, so Orchard Ion. So this is Tangs. So it's just 750 meters walk to Orchard Ion, and the most important part, 250 meters to the upcoming Orchard Boulevard MRT, which is going to be ready next year. For those who are familiar, Camden Medical is down here. In front, we have our Tanglin Mall Regent Hotel. Okay, so Regent Park Hotel, Tanglin Mall. So we are in this location. You can see we are all surrounded by greens. So a lot of greens down here. So this is how the project will look like, okay, when it's developed. So this is artist representation. Okay, we have okay, a lot of greens down here. The MRT is down here. The MRT is down here. Okay, so this is a Park Nova. Behind Park Nova would be a Cascadian Reserve. So the design itself is a vertical garden. Okay, the whole design, there's a special word called biophilic design. A biophilic meaning, to enjoy nature and also occupancy residence together. So they're combining nature and residence. So because Singapore is what we call a garden city, right? So a garden city, okay, with this kind of theme in Singapore, the developer wants to build a condominium in the heart of a garden city, and yet able to bring the garden all the way to every single unit. So, ladies and gentlemen, this project itself is so unique because every unit is surrounded by a garden. Okay, so I'm going to show you later. This is how it looks like. Every unit is surrounded by the garden. So you will get to enjoy the garden whether you're on second floor or whether you're on the top floor, 19th, 20th floor, you also can enjoy the garden. It's called a vertical garden. Okay, so as mentioned, this is the MRT. It's just like 3 minutes walk, and the Orchard MRT is like 700 meters away. So this is the location itself. Okay, so some statistics. It's a freehold. Just to summarize, it's a freehold. Okay, on a 43 over 1,000 square feet of land. Okay, estimated TOP is 2 years time. So second quarter 2023 with the TOP. So in 2 years time, this project will be ready. Okay, the architect is PLP Architect. So for Park Nova, Suntak is actually a developer. This will be the first maiden project launch by Suntak. Okay, it's its first launch. And also for its architect, it's the first time this architect is doing a residential in Singapore. This is a very famous architect. They're doing a lot of residence and commercial in China, Europe, all around the world. But I think in Singapore, this will be its first. Okay, so there's a total of 54 units. Smallest size we have is a 2+ study. Okay, a 2+ study is a 1,432 square feet. 3+ study is a 2,207. 4 bedrooms onwards, is 2,800 over square feet. And we have 3 penthouses. Okay, so we have I like to call this the baby penthouse. 3,200 over square feet. So for those who can afford the 4-bedroom, they might tip the scale a little bit to the baby penthouse. Of course, we have our super penthouse of 5,899 square feet. So all these 3 penthouses, only 3 units. Okay, and basically every buyer that comes, they are inquiring about these 3 units. The rest is like they don't bother. They only want these 3 units, and they are all duplex. Okay, so they are all double level duplex. Okay, so this is a very easy to remember project. Only 3 different stacks, similar sizes. Okay, so all these you can look from your fact sheet. Okay, so the top floors are all duplex. So on the first floor, it has its swimming pool. Okay, of course, it has its garden pavilions. Okay, this is how it looks like. Okay, so this project itself, this is the elevation, the top aerial view of this. So it actually, the design of it actually evolves from a butterfly. So this is the what the architect want us to share with you guys. Okay, the story behind having a butterfly in the park. So this is its wings. Okay, this is its wings, and of course, stack 1 is the 4 bedrooms facing Orchard Boulevard. Okay, so this is the design of it. They call this the butterfly sitting in the park. So they have a story behind this. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Every level it's very beautiful, and all this white that you see, okay, it's all cladded. It's all cladded with aluminum metal. Every single wall that you see, you will not see any white walls. Okay, you will not see any white walls because it's a luxurious project. You will see cladded with metal clads. You will see cladded with wood. You will see cladded with greenery landscape, marble, natural stone, everything other than white paint, right? So this is how luxurious it can get. Okay, so during the evening, the basically the project would glow because it has some metal elements to it. Okay, and because it's cladded with metal, it doesn't absorb heat, right? Because metal aluminum, it absorbs heat and dissipate heat very fast. But for concrete, your walls absorb heat, right? Concrete absorbs heat, but for metal aluminum, it's basically transfers heat very fast. So that's why they cleared up this project. Okay, so there is also the sky terrace on the 14th floor where the gymnasium is. Okay, the gyms, and also they have this sky lounge for 8 to 10 packs where you can have your private chef and all that. Okay, where you enjoy the view. So this is on 14th floor itself. Okay, so this is how it looks like. You can have your private event. Okay, you can see all these walls are all cladded. You can see every part of it. Okay, you can get to enjoy the views of this. Okay, when you arrive, okay, you can see even the designs of it. It's going to be very beautiful, very nice. 17.55 meter columns. Okay, a 5 meter very grand lobby. Okay, all cladded with marble. You can see it's in a higher class than a hotel because they are in the hospitality business. They know what people want. So again, a very grand drop off. Okay, you can see this is 17.55. Even the base of all these slabs are also cladded with aluminum and metal. So everything is cladded because in the photo, maybe you see it's white, but it's all cladded. So all these walls again cladded with marble, with granite, with wood. You can see every part of it is all cladded. So this is the grand, drop-off area that looks exactly like a hotel, right? Cladded with marble, okay, giving it some coolness and privacy to it. Okay, and they believe in a lot of round shapes. They try to avoid sharp angles. Let me go back. You can see everything is roundish. You can see even the rest pots are all round and circular, kind of circular design. So this is their design concept. Their swimming pool, 25-meter lap pool. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Okay, they have a rest pavilion, a garden pavilion at the corner where you can just take a break and enjoy. They also have a hot jacuzzi down here. Hot jacuzzi. So on the top plan, okay, just to share with you, this is what people like. Okay, this Park Nova itself, you can see this floor plate. Okay, 1, 2, 3. They have their own individual floor plate. Okay, this is what we call the bungalow in the sky, because all the different units, they do not have any adjacent walls to each other. So they do not have any neighboring walls that if somebody knock on the wall, you can hear. So they each have their own large format floor plate. So it's very big formats, okay, because 1,004 over square feet to 2,900 over square feet, and they do not have any neighboring walls. And this is what people like, especially the luxurious high end. They want full privacy. They don't want any people, knocking on their walls. Okay, so this is how it probably looks like. You can see because of that, because of no adjacent walls, it also allow the air flows and light to enter. Okay, and you can see around you have this communal garden. This is all gardens, all the gardens surrounding the every unit. Okay, and all these gardens, ladies and gentlemen, it does not include in the strata area. So all this is part of the common area. Okay, which is going to be auto irrigation system, so you don't have to water the plants. So it's auto irrigation. It is maintained by the MCST. Okay, it's maintained by the MCST, and it doesn't include the strata. So every home itself is surrounded by 400 to 500 square feet of garden that you do not have to pay for it. Okay, so it's a lot of savings down here, because a lot of developments, when you go and buy a unit, all these communal place, you have to pay, the extra per square foot. But for this, it's free. Okay, it's a part of the communal planter. And this again, how it looks like. So again, as a butterfly, right? This is the head, this is the wings. It is angled in a way it is not facing Cascaden Reserve, which is just behind. No units will be facing, okay? And Cascaden Reserve has its facilities. So even the 3 bedrooms, it will be overlooking Cascaden Reserve's facility. On the high floors, you'll be looking at Botanic Gardens. So every unit has a 270-degree view. Okay, so for the 3 plus study, it has on the high floors, it will have a Botanic Gardens, Bukit Timah Hill views. For the 4 bedroom, you have a unblocked Orchard Boulevard view. Very nice. All the greens are down here. You will see an entire stretch of greens. This probably, I know it's not big enough, but if you look at the New York Central Park, they have a very big park there. So all the properties that faces Central Park, if tonight you are free, nothing to do after this talk, go back and go and search. All these units facing Central Park, guys, their per square foot is crazy, okay? They are going for Sing dollars. No, sorry, not Sing dollars. US dollars, 7,000 to 10,000 per square foot. US dollars, 7,000 to $10,000 per square foot. So in Singapore, not so big, but you still get a greenery view. And of course, for the 2 plus study, it also overlooks One Tree Hill and towards the Grange Road area. So these are the 3 different views that you will get, for Park Nova. Okay, so I don't want to go to the details, but just to show you, these are its communal, what we call communal planter. So all these communal greens and gardens are not part of the strata. Okay, so every unit, will be pretty much the same size, like 1432, just the difference in the balcony size only. All units come with a private lift. Okay, so the 2 plus study, 3 plus study forms to come with a private lift. Okay, so this is how the 2 bedrooms views will look like. So on the lower floors, okay, we're facing One Tree Hill landed properties over here. Grange Road is down here. Okay, so on the higher floors, of course, you get to see more views. Okay, this on its 19th floor. Okay, so this is just the 2 plus study views. For the 3 bedroom, okay, just to show you some of the differences, they have a balcony at the master room down here. Okay, all the bedrooms are ensuite. You have your master, you have your second room with an ensuite bath, the third room with an ensuite, and also you have a powder room in the lift lobby, right? Sorry, in the private lift lobby. When you come up, you turn left, the helper can go into the kitchen, turn right into the living room. So there's another powder room down here. Okay, very big C-shaped kitchen. Very big C-shaped kitchen. Your refuge, recycle and general waste is also inside the development itself. Okay, so it comes with a bathtub. Okay, and a 2.4 meters marble vanity top. Later, I'm going to show you this. Very nice. The views of it, okay, on the lower floors, okay, overlooking Cascaden Reserve facility, you can see from here, okay, some of Regent Park. On the mid floors onwards, probably on the 14th floor onwards, you get to see some parts of Botanic Gardens and the Bukit Timah Hill. And on the higher floors, yes, you get nicer views of Botanic Gardens. Okay, so this is the 3 plus study facing, direct facing. Okay, the 4 bedrooms, again, surrounded by greens. Okay, and 1 bedroom is on the one side of the apartment and the other 3 is on the other side. Okay, so again, all the rooms are all ensuite. They have their own baths. Of course, a bigger kitchen, okay, dry kitchen, wet kitchen. It comes with 2-door fridge, wine chiller, dishwasher, and also it comes with a coffee mixer. Okay, a coffee mixer from Miele. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Again, with its balcony. Okay, the views of it, okay, probably this one they will want the lower floors because it actually faces this greenery towards Four Seasons and then towards Orchard. So this is the Orchard Boulevard facing, okay, the greens, very nice trees. Okay, of course, the higher floors, you get to see more of the city, okay, a little bit of the city areas, Raffles, CBDs, so this is on the higher floors for the 4 bedrooms. So 4 bedroom sizes, approximately 2,009 plus minus square feet, okay, 2,009 square feet. So this is how it looks like. The show flat itself, it will look like that, but this is just the representation. So we have this, we have the 3 plus study and the 4 bedroom show flats. Okay, so this is what you get. Okay, these are the views that you'll be getting. So the show flat is like worth $10 million. And so for those who haven't seen the show flat, probably you can drop by and make an appointment with our taggers. They probably let you see the show flat. It's like it costs $10 million to build. Okay, so again, another view from the living area. This art itself is like 25,000, a very nice pixelated art. They have also the bar counter down here, which is also provided. So all this renovation will not be provided. Furnishing will also not be provided. Okay, so it's going to be a standard, white walls in the unit itself. Okay, so this is how it looks like on the living area to the balcony. And I like this curve down here because, sometimes people say odd shape, but this shape is an additional shape that, when you have your dining areas down here, you still can walk around your dining area. So actually it's a functional shape itself. Okay, so it's very functional. You have a granite for the balconies, marble for the living, and it's all flushed. So it's flushed very nicely. Okay, so it's very big balconies. So for the kitchen cabinets and the wardrobes, they actually come from Molteni and C. Okay, so it's actually a Italian kitchen cabinetry. Okay, so for the kitchen and also for the wardrobes. So for those who are keen, you can Google more because they actually collaborate with different artists before, different designers. And for the penthouses, it'll be Molteni, NC, and Armani. So that's for the penthouses. So again, our kitchen will be from Molteni and C Dada. So this is all imported cabinetry, okay, Italian cabinets, kitchen cabinets. Okay, so most of the standard provisions, cooker, hood, hub, fridge, and oven. All units also have a dishwasher. Okay, but for the 3 bedrooms, it has the wine chiller extra. Okay, and also for the 4 bedrooms, you have the steam oven and the coffee maker. Okay, coffee maker for the 4 bedrooms. Okay, you can see very, very nice kitchen. And one of my favorites, it's their master room. Okay, they have this 2.4 meters long marble slab. It's really a masterpiece in the master bathroom. For the 3+ study and the 4 bedrooms, it does come with this 2.4 meters marble vanity top, and also it has a marble bottom. Okay, even its doors are cladded with marble. So this is really a very nice masterpiece. You all should just check it out. Okay, and of course it's sanitary fittings with Vola. Okay, it's all bronze, very nice bronze colors. And of course, we have their Lawford sanitary bathtubs and its sink itself. Okay, and you can see outside, the windows, you can see gardens, right? So this is why we like to have the garden in the unit itself. Okay? So every unit will be able to experience gardens, in part of the unit. So from the bedrooms to the living areas. Okay, so the bathrooms are all cladded with marble as well. So all marble clad. Okay, the master room, okay, the wardrobes also come from Molteni and C. Okay, so the whole development itself, being able to see all these photos, I just felt it's really a privilege because sometimes when we do high end or ultra high end, like when I was a new agent, I don't get a chance to even see, I don't even get a chance to see the photos. But I think this time around, take this chance to go and explore, go and understand, why people using furnishings like that, why is the prices like that, so that, we can increase our knowledge, right? So go and explore while you still can, okay? So it is open to ERA agents this weekend. Please make an appointment with taggers. Don't bore them down, but, when you really think that you want to come and explore it, just let me know, okay? And ultimately, with such a product, what do you think the price is? For those who are aware, don't type in, you're aware. So what do you think the price is, when we mentioned so much about prices just now? How much do you think? You all can type into the chat. How much you think your client would buy this? Don't lowball me. Okay. So anyway, we already have some indicative prices. Okay. The 2 bedrooms will start from the high side of 5 over million. On average, it will be 6 over million. Okay. So we have clients that come into the show flat. Why are they buying the 2 bedrooms? Sometimes we have our rich people's problem. So they come to the show flat, they say, hey, I like the 2 bedroom, I want to buy for my daughter. Then the daughter say, no, I don't want to move. Oh, why? Because they are staying somewhere else, they enjoy the place. Then we're all, agents, being agents, we all like roll eye, like, why are they not moving, Yeah, so we have these kind of scenarios, very funny stories that we can share more. The 3 bedrooms on the high side of 9 million. On average, it will be like 10 million for the 3+ studies. Okay, a very good interest in the 3 bedrooms as well. And of course, the 4 bedrooms, we have a very, very high interest because if you look at the quantum, okay, so the mid 13 over million to probably 15 million. Okay, so if you look at the quantum, it's actually very much affordable. Okay, the per square foot on average will be like 4,500. On the high side penthouses, probably 5,500 to 6,000. Okay, so this is the kind of a per square foot we're talking about. So typical units, maybe 4,500 to 5. On the high floors penthouses, you're probably looking at 5,500 to even 6,000. Depends on the developer, right? So these are just price guides. Don't quote me. Okay, so these are just anyway. The booking will be tomorrow. Okay, for those who are keen to know more, who wants to be updated with sometimes with trainings, we want to have more preview of the show flat, enter our hyper chat. Okay, our hyper chat. So enter this just enter the into our hyper chats. Okay, the show flat, it's just across the site. The show flat is just right next to Tomlinson Heights. Okay, so for those who are familiar, it's just next to Tomlinson Heights. So car park, no car parking for agents. Okay, so if you're an agent, if you want to park, you have to find your best parking. I know you got parking apps. You can park at Hotel Gen, you can park at Regent, you can park at this Lengkok Merak landed areas or 13U. Okay, so you can park around here. Then only the clients can park at the show flat. Okay, so this is for our Park Nova show flat. So you can take a screenshot of this if you need. Okay, so for those who want to attend, who want to go for viewings, please contact our taggers. So the mode of sales is by placement. So for those who have full documentations with checks, let us know. If you don't have checks, you can do a transfer. So tomorrow 12 p.m. will be our cutoff date ready. Okay, so tomorrow 12 p.m. will be cut off. After that, we'll be doing all our booking process ready. So the single purchase will be 7 p.m. onwards. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this session. So please take advantage of what we have to reach out to your clients. Whether they buy or they don't buy, I think that's secondary. What's more important is that we reach out. Okay, so find ways to reach out to your high net worths. Maybe your high net worths. People will say, Alex, where do I get these clients? Maybe I'll share with you some tips. You can go and look for your client because your client's bosses may be able to buy, right? Or you look for your preferred bankers or your lawyer friends that they have bosses as well. So they have to go through this kind of network. Okay, so please continue to reach out. Your client may not buy, but your client's bosses and friends may be willing to buy. Okay, so up to now, any question? Wow, any question? Anson, you want to come back first so that you want to share anything with the team?
I think you covered most of the stuff.
Let me see any so anyway, myself, Kara, and Serene will be here to help you with it. So let me just see anyone who got any question in the chats. Feel free to ask. Let me just go to the chat. Okay, Anson, you want to update on anything? Yeah.
I think you have covered most of it. So again, tomorrow, if you have any interested clients that have not submitted anything, you can submit to us before 12 p.m. at the show flat. So we will, once we firm up all the details, the usual, your check, your IC, your buyer's details, all those things, then we will do the placement exercise depending on which category they fall into, as per what Alex has mentioned. So I think that one is important. So again, if you have not reached out to anybody, or last minute you want to bring them down, please do so. Those who are sitting on the fence, please try to firm up the clients and send their details through ourselves, through the BD, the ICs, any one of us here. And we'll try to do our best to secure a unit for your client. Yeah.
Yep. So thanks, Anson. And guys, I think I'm really, really excited, about this project because once you start to see units move here, trust me, it's going to be the game changer for the CCR District 9, District 10 really. So I think we're really in for a new phase of history. So I think, let's all gear up for it. And I think, we're going to see a very good price, surge if really, things take off as planned. Okay. So I think that's all I have. Kara, sorry, anything you want to add? Yeah. All good, huh? Okay, lah. So anyway, thanks. On behalf of our leadership team, our Sun, Anson, Serene, Kara. Thank you all once again for your precious time. The night is still young, so go and do some homework on the luxury. Re-love again real estate. Re-love luxury, and come down to Park Nova. Okay. So thank you so much. That's all I have. Thank you, everyone. Thank you and good night.
Alex.
Bye.
Thanks
Good
for
night.
sharing. Thanks,
Thank you so
everyone.
much. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.